client, my amazing client here, Suzanne. I've been actually trying to get her on a Zoom call for a long time. I know she's been super busy, right? But busy, but crushing it. Okay. And yeah, so welcome in, Suzanne. It's nice to have you here.
Hi, everyone.
Yep. All right. So yeah, over this conversation, what we're going to do is just talk a little bit more about Suzanne's success. She's one of our most successful clients in our program in 2024. And yeah, I just want you guys to get some insight from her, some value from Suzanne, some inspiration. So yeah, Suzanne, welcome. My first question is, how did we first meet?
Yeah, I came across Meraki on Instagram. There was a video um, pretty much targeting career driven women. If you have a busy schedule, have a lot going on with your life. And I thought that kind of aligned with my lifestyle. So I was in fitness programming in a couple of different ones previous to this, but none of them really worked with that lifestyle. So I'm like, why not give it a shot? So I commented and I got a feedback and we set up a meeting and everything went from there.
Yeah, that meeting changed everything for you. So I'm really happy to have that meeting. Tell us a little bit more. Like you said, you were busy before you met me. So, and I know you did like other things for your fitness, Suzanne, but tell me a little bit more, like just like what you do for your career, how things really got busy for you, and how because you were busy, like you felt like your health has been kind of slipping and being put on the back burner over the years.
100%. I am a full-time student still pursuing my bachelor's degree, and I also work full-time on the side along with 2 to 3 part-time duties, depending on the time of the year. And that definitely put quite a bit workload on myself. And for the longest time, I couldn't find a balance between my physical health and my work. But now that I have a routine, everything's pretty much is in line. Before that, I couldn't even meal prep. I don't have time to take care of myself physically or emotionally. So I've gained like 40 pounds after also getting into a relationship. But with the Meraki program, I definitely felt back on track. I came back um, starting to do weekly workouts, starting to do meal prepping. So it helped me a lot. I know more how to put that physical health part into my daily life. It doesn't take long. I used to spend 2 to 3 hours at the gym, which is now looking back, it's pretty unnecessary.
Mhm. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So I know you mentioned about like the 40 pounds, right? And a lot of people listening to this, Suzanne, also experienced like, some regression with their fitness during COVID. I know when we first chatted, you were telling me, it was during like COVID or after COVID, like, and just to double check here, like even before then, like you actually, like you were more active before COVID, right? You were
Yeah.
more active. So can you tell the viewers a little bit more like, how did that weight gain come about? It's because a lot of people can probably relate, and some people are still stuck with that COVID weight, Suzanne, and they're still not able to lose that weight, and it's been 4 or 5 years. Like, how did that weight come on for you? Was it gradual? Was it like, tell us a little bit more if you don't mind sharing.
Mm-hmm. COVID definitely, impacted me quite a bit. That's the most weight loss I've ever gained during that. Mainly because I'm not out working out, I'm not walking around, I'm not doing anything physical active. Um, and being in a relationship, it just cook at home a lot. Also didn't help with, busy schedule, a lot of takeouts. Um, I think a lot of them, it's more of a habit change. I used to just lie in bed right after a meal and I also munch on a lot of snacks,
Mhm.
kind of a no self-control phase during the COVID. And then that eventually got away once I started eating healthy. There's no more cravings. I think the craving really played a big impact in those unhealthy habits.
Mhm. Okay, thanks for sharing. I know like this is very important. Like having PCOS, right? Like, can you tell the viewers like when were you diagnosed with PCOS? Did you believe once you had PCOS that it was going to be a lot harder to lose weight, at least from what you heard, Suzanne?
Yes, I definitely heard that from my doctors even. They're like, oh, PCOS is gonna influence your weight. Even if you try to lose weight, it's gonna be very hard. So there's already the demotivation coming from the doctor, but that isn't the case now that I'm in the Meraki program. I was diagnosed about 3 years ago. And I was on birth control. A lot of my weight change or sorry, increasing weight is also due to that as well.
Hmm.
Um, but definitely, I think it's what goes into your mouth, and nutrition plays a very important part,
Mhm.
and balancing out with exercises. It could be just light exercises, nothing crazy. I've learned that slower exercise is actually more beneficial to those who have PCOS, and it actually worked on me. So.
For sure. And you found immense success with that. Can you tell the viewers, like, when you were diagnosed with PCOS 3 years ago, everyone, including your doctor, was saying it's going to be a lot harder to lose weight. I remember you were saying, like, when we met, you said beforehand you were doing like group classes and you were doing some personal training, right? But you weren't able to lose as much weight. Can you tell us a little bit more about like what you'd done in during that time, the 3 years prior?
Hmm. I've tried different workout styles. I've attended group classes where it's high intensity. An hour you do 30 minutes weight training or and 30 minutes cardio. Um, I've constantly felt exhausted afterwards. I have no energy. I pretty much, if I go in the morning, the rest of the day I'm feeling extremely fatigued.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not entirely sure if that's because of my PCOS doesn't adapt to that lifestyle. I would assume so. And I've also just tried um, different, also at the gym for personal coaching. I've did a lot of cardio, high intensity workouts, skipping, jumping ropes, running. I did marathon before.
Mhm.
Um, but they're all heavy, intensive training in a short period of time. And I never seen my weight lost. Even if I did lose weight, it goes back quite fast. And I gain even more afterwards.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Wow. So it sounds like, you're putting in all that effort and you still aren't able to lose weight. As a matter of fact, you'll be gaining weight. How much would be like the maximum amount of weight you would lose beforehand?
I think I lost 15 pounds within the 4 month mark.
Yep.
But then, as I get busy, a lot of things, because it's so time consuming to go to those classes, it got dropped and my weight slowly increased back again. Like within 2 months, I'm back to that 30 pounds mark.
Okay, I see. Okay. So it sounds like even before, like having not just being able to lose the weight, like losing 15 pounds, but like the rebound was like a struggle for you, like losing the weight and then gaining it back. Okay.
Mhm.
I know you just came back from your trip from the UK, right? And can you let me know, like, I know this time you've been able to like pretty much maintain, maybe even lose a little bit more on vacation, right? Can you talk about how like this time is very different from like times before when you would go on vacation?
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of habit improvement, as I mentioned. I did still keep track of what I'm eating during the vacation. I've never done that before. Usually I just uh, consider a cheat day or a cheat week and
Yep.
not tracking anything, but that didn't happen. I did track what I eat as much as possible, but still giving myself the flexibility of what I can eat. And if I um, ate a little more, I just go walk out, go out and walk a little more to burn it off. But I do understand that it's a vacation and it's not the end of the world, which is kind of a mental um, change, because before I feel bad for doing that. Right now, I'm just enjoying that lifestyle. I'm trying to take advantage of the vacation, of course, but not going overbound with things. And I also did work out during vacation. It wasn't like consistent as usual, but I did hit a couple workouts at the gym, which felt really good. And of course, traveling, you walk a lot, which also helped keeping that daily steps go as well.
Very good. Would you say before you met me, when you travel, like you would gain weight back and then you would just feel like your fitness routine would just be completely derailed before you met me?
Yes, definitely. Eat a lot, pretty much go back to hotel, just pass out. There's no activities afterwards. Yeah, I just feel bloated. I feel fatigue. It's so hard to go back on track after the vacation, but that didn't happen after I met you.
Mm, I'm very glad to hear. And yeah, it's not just like losing the weight, it's being able to break the cycle of the up and down, Suzanne. And you've been able to show that, which is why I'm so excited to speak with you because like you're obviously very smart when it comes to this. The results speak for itself. And I always say this for the viewers, like there's times to play offense, there's times to play defense. Playing offense pretty much in your fitness journey means you have things accessible to you. You can have like your gym, your equipment, yeah, food's accessible, right? But then there's times to play defense. Defense is like when we travel, like when Suzanne went to the UK or like the weekends. And a lot of people don't have a complete strategy. They know how to play offense, they'll diet really aggressively. But what happens when they travel? What happens when they're like, right? And that's why people constantly rebound, right? And until we actually break the cycle, we learn how to create a complete strategy, we're always going to be doing the up and down, the up and down, the up and down. So, very proud of you, Suzanne. You've done very well for yourself.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep. So, losing about 37 pounds in 7 months. Like, how do you feel about that?
I definitely it's I'm so proud of myself first of all. And I think it changed my health condition so much. Before that I was having even difficulty breathing when I'm coming up downstairs, and I can't really walk over 10 minutes because I would be
Wow.
resting in between. But now I'm able to, I have no problem working out or walking for like an hour. My heart rate actually is not drastically increasing when I do that. And overall, I just feel happier and more energetic throughout the day. But yeah, it's definitely not. Um, I wouldn't say the 37 pounds is a immediate. There's of course I would contribute to the habit stacking.
Yep. Yep.
That's what I learned the most, and I picked up from the very beginning is slowly increasing your goal, or whether that's workout or intake, and adjust as needed. And I feel like that's very important for those who are working in a busy lifestyle. Things not always go as planned, of course,
Yep.
but the habit stacking, I found it very, very helpful. I went from 6,000 steps daily to about 11,000 steps now.
Nice. Nice. And let's actually talk about that because a lot of people on my page are really busy and like that's the belief because we are all busy. That's a valid point. But like they're like, I'm way too busy, Adrian, and like I can't do this right now, or I can't focus on my health and fitness. But you did it with full-time work, part-time work, school full-time, like, and you're no different. I mean, like you obviously you're a really hard worker, but you're still human too, right? Just like all of us. So how did you do it? And I want to hear that because a lot of people are curious to know how you did that. And like, what did you learn from me that, really helped you make this process like manageable because you still kept the weight off even when you went on vacation. So like, how is this all even possible with your schedule and the busyness you have?
Hmm. Habit stacking is definitely one of them. Start from a small goal and increasing your comfortability of doing so, and also slowly increasing your ability to adapt to that. And another thing I've learned the that's very helpful is eating the frog. So depending on my day and what my schedule looks like, I sometimes would hit the workout in the morning, but unfortunately I'm not a very morning person.
Mhm.
But I will still try to go to the gym after work rather than going back home right away and be demotivated to go out again.
Mhm.
I also find myself walking outside at nighttime a lot. So when it's really nice outside, I would go out for a walk just to feel the nature, and also getting my daily steps in. Around the block, it's very easy. You just pass by it, go to a neighborhood, and come back. That's easily 4,000 steps.
Yep.
It only takes like about 30 or 45 minutes, depending on how far you go.
Hmm.
And that's toward the end of the day. I'm hitting the steps, I'm going back home, taking a shower, and I'm in bed.
Hmm.
Um, Another thing I did is to purchasing a walking pad. Because sometimes depending on the weather outside, it's just not permit myself to go out. Also depending on the time, if it's 11 p.m., I feel unsafe to go out. So I have that at home. I have no excuse to not hit the steps. And at the beginning, I also set up a mini home gym, not with equipment, just basic weights. And then slowly, once my weight need increased, I'm going to the gym. So I would say start with somewhere small for sure. And then for those that it's uncontrollable, you can always find methods and tools to make it controllable within yourself.
That's great tips. Thank you so much for that. Those are amazing. And you know, like it's really inspiring because you didn't have every scenario being advantageous for you, Suzanne. Truthfully, like you were very busy, like not just school, but like work and school. Like you had the diagnosis 3 years ago with PCOS. For a lot of people, Suzanne, like in your shoes, they would have just like been very demotivated, not done anything, and just blame it on like, hey, this is my circumstance, this is why I'm not losing weight, and I can't do anything about it. But you actually like turn that and you internalize that. You're like, hey, I'm gonna do something about it. And I'm gonna actually like lose this weight. And you already are down nearly 40 pounds. That's crazy. It's only been like a little more than half a year. But ultimately we want to help people, like even this call with me, like it's going to inspire a lot of people. There's somebody out there listening to this like that has PCOS, that's very busy, and they feel like they're handcuffed because I have so many conversations. They feel like there's nothing they can do, Suzanne. It's hopeless, like they're stuck at their weight. And I know you may have felt that way before, right? And it's not like a smooth journey for sure. There's struggles, ups and downs, right? Hills and lows and highs. But like, what would you recommend for someone that's just stuck there, Suzanne? It's maybe been years. They're stuck in their mind. They have PCOS. They're really busy. They just can't lose weight, or they're scared to start. What's your advice for them?
Yeah, definitely. I would say for those who are out there have the similar kind of lifestyle and struggles with PCOS, it's manageable. PCOS symptoms can be lessened if you are taking the correct precautions.
Mhm.
Whether there's supplements that are helping or just getting into a routine to improve your physical health. And I feel like ultimately it's a lifestyle change. Not just trying to, let's say, I joined Meraki because I wanted a change in my life. I didn't want to live negatively with blaming everything on my PCOS, for example, and blaming my weight loss and going to that bad cycle. So I would recommend definitely reaching out to and Adrian to talk about the strategy and how that can change your lifestyle. You know, a lot of courses we've taken within the VIP group, we talk about how supplements can help with these type of PCOS symptoms. We have a group of very successful, dedicated individual
Yep.
who share the similar symptoms. So we have a little community for communications, but I would definitely say it's a mindset shift. Just make your step forward, come forward with any questions, and go from there. Never afraid to change, because this myself as a example here, I've successfully lost weight, so it's not impossible.
Mhm. And would you agree you may not know everything from the start, but the first step with anything, Suzanne, is taking the first step. Would you agree so?
Yes, 100%.
The first step. I think we chatted, Suzanne, on the very last day of the last year. That was when we had a conversation before you joined the team, right? And that's literally like starting the new year on a good note and making that commitment. Hey, I'm going to do this. And if you didn't do that and we didn't have that chat, it may be very different. Maybe right now you may not be where you are right now. And it would be heartbreaking to know you would be in the same position as you were end of the year. But because you took the first step, we had that conversation. Your life is completely different. It's a difference of 37 pounds, Suzanne, now versus back then. So I want to thank yourself. Like because I'm a big believer in mentors and coaches. As you know, I have my own fitness coach. Even when you learn from people that know more than you, have the experience. It saves you a lot of time. It saves you a lot of headache, right? And it gets you towards your goal a lot faster. So I want to say you should thank yourself for making the right decisions in your life.
Thank you, Adrian.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, that comes to an end. So Suzanne, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. You are definitely one of our most successful members on the team, and you just really are an epitome of like, you're a career-driven woman. You're someone that's busy. You're someone that has like, a little bit of like health complication, PCOS, but you don't let that pull you down. You don't let that stop you. You still are successful with it, despite how busy you are, school, work, PCOS, and you still get it done. It really shows the power of the mind. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. If you really want something in your life and you get the right help, you can accomplish anything in this world. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Suzanne. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.